Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Good. So yesterday you used your microphone. I like that. So it's if you could keep moving your microphone, using your microphone, I would prefer that. So thank you for that, and keep on doing that. Okay, so let's start. Let's start with the lecture, and this is the slide we ended with actually yesterday, and so we talked about bonds, and on the bond you have a stated interest rate. Stated interest rates. What does that mean? That means that the interest rate is written on the bond. And then, of course, there's the market interest rate. This is the interest rate that is set by the market, and that can change. Yeah, the stated interest rate cannot change; it's fixed. But the market interest rates, of course, can change and depends on the circumstances of the market. If you want to calculate the prices and the values of bonds, you have to do a present value analysis. So prices are the present values of all future cash flows. Yeah. So prices are the present values of all future cash flows. What is the cash flows in the case of a bond? What do we have in the case of a bond? What are the cash flows for that a holder of a bond gets? The cash flows are the coupons, which are which is the stated interest, and the principal. Yeah, the principal is what you get at the end of the maturity. And the market interest rates influence prices. Why do the market interest rates influence prices? The market interest rates are essentially the discount rates. Yeah. So here, this is the formula how to calculate a present value. Yeah. So this is very very general. You take the cash flow. The cash flows and discount them to the present. C stands for cash flow. Cash flow in year 1. This is cash flow in year 2, and R is the discount rate. R is the discount rate, and the discount rate in our case, when we're talking about bonds, is the market interest rates. Yeah. At the bottom we have an example. We have a bond with a €5 coupon. So €5 is the interest payment that is paid annually, and €100 is the par value or principal value. Yeah, and we have 3 years until to maturity, and we assume that our market interest rate is 3%. So what do? We apply this present value formula that we see here. Yeah, we apply that to this bond, and we have to we have to discount all these cash flows because they are essentially cash flows, and we have to discount these cash flows to the present. Yeah, we just apply this formula, and then if we calculate this equation, then we get the present value of the bond. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This is very general formulas for calculating present values. So the this is the one we have just seen. This is the same, actually. It's only written kind of differently, but actually what you do here is you do the same. You start with C1 divided by 1 plus R to the power of 1, and then you take C2, C2 1 plus R, and then you take to the power of whatever, yeah, the 2 when we're in year 2, and so on. So this is assume that this is 1. Yeah. So essentially, what I want to say is that these two are the same, and then we have present value formulas for special circumstances. Perpetuity is actually is a cash flow stream. Which is the same every single year, and which goes on forever. Then we have a growing perpetuity, which is a cash flow stream that grows with the factor G and goes on forever. And then we have here an annuity, which is the same cash flow in every year, but does not go on forever, but essentially ends at a certain point in time. So these are special equations, formulas rather, for these circumstances. So, but do not worry about these formulas. Yeah, do not worry about these formulas. I just wanted to show them to you, and so let's go on. Here we see from a newspaper. It's an excerpt from a newspaper, and we see certain bonds, and those bonds, what do they have? They have a coupon. Yeah. Again, what is the coupon? Can you tell me what the coupon is? Exactly, Liang. Very good. Yeah, the coupon is the stated interest rate. Then we have the maturity date. What is the maturity date?
The end of the day.
Can you repeat it, please, Ray?
I think it's the end of the date.
Exactly.
The deadline.
The deadline. Exactly. Very good. Very good, Ray. It's the end of the date and the end of the bond when the bond matures. Then we have the price of the bond, and we have the yield, and the yield is the yield that you are getting when you are buying the bond at this price, when you're buying the bond at this price, then you're getting this yield, because you would get the coupon if you buy the bond at 100. But as you can see here, the first bond it trades a little bit higher than 100. So therefore, your yield is essentially a little bit lower, because you have to pay a higher price for this bond. Yeah. So, and on the other hand, if you look at the second bond trades at a lower price than 100, and therefore the yield essentially is higher than the actual coupon, because you do not have to pay 100. Instead, you only have to pay 94. Yeah, so that's an advantage for you, and therefore you have a higher yield. Does that make sense? Or are there any questions?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Then we can go on. Here you see how the interest rates have changed. Yeah, the market interest rates have changed over the years, and this is the long-term interest rates, and you see that they have moved a lot, actually, and currently the interest rates are very low, as you know, but there were other times. Look at the 80s, the 1980s, we had the oil shock, and at that time interest rates were actually always double-digit numbers. So we had a very very different times relating to interest rates. So interest rate can actually move quite a bit. This is a general relationship that holds for market prices and interest rates. Generally speaking, there's an inverse relationship between market prices and interest rates. Yeah, when interest rates go down, prices go up. Why is that the case? With lower interest rates, the newly issued bonds yield less than the old bonds. So the prices of the old bonds, they have to adjust. So they go up until the yields are the same. Yeah, because actually the old bond aren't as competitive, and they have to go up. That yields go or rather the prices of the old bonds, they have to go up, because the old bonds are more competitive, are very competitive, because they yield higher interest rates, and investors are buying those bonds in order to adjust to the new market environment. Does this relationship make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. If there are any questions, just do not hesitate and ask me. Okay. So here, here's an exercise. Could you please calculate the present value of this bond? Yeah, and we start with interest rates being 7%. So Ray says it looks like the supply and demand curve. Yeah, but it is not. It's not the supply and demand curve. Yeah. Could you please use calculate the price of this this bond? Yeah, we have a bond that has a 5 euro coupon, 5 euro interest. Has a maturity of 3 years, and you have to calculate the present value of this bond. And the assumption is that the interest rates are 7%. Yeah. So please try this and then tell me your answer. Take your time. Take 5 minutes time or so, and then tell me what you calculated and what is your answer. Also tell me what you did. Okay, so you have calculated something. So let's have a look what we have to do. So what do we have to calculate? We have for the first year, we have 5. We have actually what we have. So we have 5 divided by 107. Then we have 5 divided by 1 point 7 to the power of 2. Yeah, so this is a dot. Yeah. And then we have 5. No, 105. Seven to the power of 3. Yeah, so this is and this is what we have to calculate it. So what is the correct answer? Type it in your calculator. Is it the second one you wrote? No, the last one. Okay, 94.75. Okay. Do the others agree? What about the others? Do you agree? Or do you have something?
agree with Yang.
What do you have, Ray?
I agree with her.
Can you write your answer in the chat? Okay, you agree. Okay, all right. I got it. Okay, very good. Then let's do the second one. What about if the market interest rates are 3%? Try this one on your own. Okay. Liang has 105.66, and this is present value equals 5 divided by 1.03 plus 5 divided by 1.03 to the power of 2 plus 105 divided by 3 to the power of 3. There's a big 3 and the small 3. Yeah. And this is 105.66. Yeah. Do you agree? Do the others agree? Okay, good. Then please do the last one. Please do this one. Okay, Liang says 100, and if it has to be 100, yeah. If you think about it, it has to be 100 because you discount a bond which has a coupon of 5% with a 5% interest rate, and the answer has to be 100. Yeah. So here is how we calculate it. Oh, sorry. This is a 3. And power 3, of course. And the answer is 100. So do you agree? Does that make sense to all of you? Or are there any questions? No. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Liang. Here are journal entries for issuing bonds. Here are journal entries for issuing bonds. You debit cash and you credit bonds payable. Yeah. If you think about this, how is the accounting equation affected here? Very good, yeah. And then later, if you pay interest, if I have an interest on a bond and you pay the interest, or the firm pays the interest, what about this? Yeah, equity down, asset down. Yeah, asset down because cash is an asset, and it is down. If you credit an asset, it is down. And equity is down because interest expense is an expense, of course, and an expense reduces your net income. Reduced net income leads to reduced retained earnings, leads to a reduced equity. Yeah, good. Do you agree? The others, does that make sense? Good. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. A bond can also be issued at a premium. What does that mean when a bond is issued at a premium? Bond is issued at a premium when the firm gets more cash than the par value. Yeah, here you have this is the par value. This is the par value. Yeah, but the firm gets more cash, 103,000. So gets more cash. And why can firms issue bonds at a premium? Do you have an idea? Firms can issue bonds at a premium when actually the stated rate, the coupon, is too high. Yeah, when in the marketplace the interest rate is lower, and firms and investors therefore like the bond and are bidding that bond up. Yeah, they are paying a higher price for that bond because they like it so much, because actually the interest rate is so high. Yeah, and then they're paying a high price and bidding the bond up. Yeah, and therefore the bond is issued at a premium. Yeah, and here you see how the journal entry is. Yeah, you debit cash, and you credit bonds payable, and you also credit premium on bonds payable. when later on, when the firm has to pay interest expense, then most of the money, of course, has to be paid out as cash. But part of the interest rate expense comes from the premium. Yeah, comes from the premium. Yeah, that the premium is set at a that the bond is issued at a higher price. Yeah. So you debit interest expense and you debit premium on bonds payable, and you credit cash. Here you see the relationship between stated interest rate, market interest rate, and the price of a bond. If the stated interest rate is the coupon. Yeah, stated interest rate is the coupon. Now, when the stated interest rate is the market interest rate, when it equals the market interest rate, when this is the same, then the price equals the face value. And the price equals the face value. And we've seen that before. Yeah, we've seen that when we calculated the price of a bond. Yeah, we've seen that. If you think about it, if you think about it here. Yeah, so here in this case, exactly, yeah, it's 5%. Very good, yeah, 5%. The stated rate, here this is the stated rate, equals the market rate, yeah. And then we had 100, yeah, 100 is the market price, 100, and that equals the face value, equals the principal. Yeah, this is what we just said, and we have calculated it. So very good. Yeah. When the stated rate is lower than the market rate, yeah, then the price is lower than the face value. And when the stated interest rate is higher than the market interest rate, then the price is higher than the face value. Yeah, and we've also calculated this. Yeah, here the stated rate is higher than, sorry, the market rate. This is the market rate. Market rate is higher than the stated rate, than the coupon. Stated rate. It's the stated rate. And here it is lower than the stated rate. And what follows is the price is lower than 100. Yeah, Liang has calculated the price, and the price was, I think it was 94 or something. Yeah, lower than 100. And here it's the other way around. Yeah, the price is higher than the principal. It's higher than the face value. The price is higher than the face value. It's higher than 100. It was 100 something. Yeah. Yeah. So this was the first instance. We had 5 here. We had 7. Yeah, and the price was 90. Sorry, the price was the face value is always 100. The face value is always 100, and the price was 94. 94 something, 94, about 94. 94. And here it was the other way around. The stated interest rate was 5. The market interest rate was 3, I think. And the price was about 104 or 105. I don't remember exactly. 104 was it? 105. Okay, 105. So it is higher than the face value. Thank you. It is higher than the face value. Yeah. Okay. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay, very good. Yeah, so generally speaking, the bond can be issued at a discount or at a premium. Yeah, it can be issued at a discount and a premium, depending on what the stated rate is in comparison to the market rate. Yeah, depending on what the stated rate or what the market rate is in comparison to the coupon, to the stated rate. And when the market rate is higher than the coupon, then it will be issued at a discount, and if it's lower than at a premium. So and it can also, the bond can also trade at a premium or at a discount. The bond is tradable. Yeah, it is traded and it moves. Yeah, it moves depending on what the market does. Yeah, it goes up and down, whatever, like a stock. Yeah, it's not as volatile as stock, but depending on what the market interest rate was, what they do, the stock trades either at a discount or at a premium. When the market rates go down, the stock moves up. So when the market rates go down, here the market rates go down and the stock moves up. Stock moves up, and the bond moves up. Market interest rates go down, the bond moves up. Because the bond is getting more competitive, and people like that bond more because in an environment with low interest rates, the bond is even more attractive. Yeah, and that's why they are buying that bond and bidding it up. On the other hand, here in this case, yeah, when the bond price goes down, interest rates probably went up. Interest rates went up, and the bond is becoming less competitive with the coupon it has. Yeah, so you see that interest rates, the market interest rates determine the bond prices. Yeah. Are there any questions? Questions? No. Okay. Yeah. Here you see a bond. Yeah. You see a bond. This is the chart of a bond. Yeah. See the chart of a bond, and this bond is a bond issued by Starbucks. Yeah, it's a Starbucks bond. Here you have the coupon. Do you see the coupon here? So coupon is 3.85. Yeah, 3.85. It's the coupon, and the bond moves. Yeah, in this case here, the bond has moved up. the interest rates went down. The interest rates went down, and therefore the bond has moved up. Yeah. Okay. Then we're having a break now. Break. See you in 15 minutes.